We are carefully following the path of Hurricane Epstein right now. It is a Category 5. It's expected to make landfall sometime very soon. We are now one step closer to answering the question, what did the president know and how old were these women when he...
I mean, this is a president who appointed a madman to be the nation's health secretary, and who in turn, he has just put like a QAnon conspiracy chat room in charge of the nation's vaccine schedule. This is a president who is selling coins and gold trinkets with his face on them.
Jimmy Kimmel and Rachel Maddow didn't just roast Trump. They dismantled him like a comedy special mixed with a documentary, mixed with a complete disaster breakdown. The jokes were brutal, the analysis was razor sharp, and Trump's reaction looked somewhere between confused and calling his lawyer.
Mary Bruce didn't back down. She's like, oh, you don't like the questions about the murder? All right, then what about the Epstein files?
Why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter.
To advance their child exploitation cases on nights and weekends, meaning effectively in their free time. There's also new reporting that in addition to seeking more than $200 million for President Trump himself from the U.S. Justice Department, Trump's DOJ is also reportedly considering giving a huge check to Trump's disgraced former national security advisor, the conspiracy theorist Mike Flynn, the one who pled guilty to lying to investigators about his secret communications with the Russian government. Bloomberg reporting that the Trump Justice Department is in talks to give $50 million to Mike.
Trump's latest blunder practically begged to be roasted, and Kimmel didn't waste a second. The whole studio felt supercharged with sarcasm as he described Trump like someone trying to earn a trophy for finishing a puzzle he never even opened.
Both the House and Senate voted to release the long-withheld files related to a man who considered himself to be Trump's closest friend for more than a decade, the late sex criminal Jeffrey Epstein. The vote in Congress went 427-1. It was such a landslide, Trump might actually be able to rebury the Epstein file.
In the middle of the chaos, Kimmel compared Trump's logic to doing arithmetic with crayons and blind confidence. He didn't even raise his voice. Every punchline hit like a weight smashing onto marble floors.
Trump is pulling out all the stops for his trillionaire friend, who also happens to be doing business with Don Jr. and Eric.
Is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news.
That was Mary Bruce of ABC News doing what reporters are supposed to do.
Then Maddow stepped in and treated Trump's public statements like strange artifacts dug up from an archaeological dig of confusion. She didn't attack, she analyzed, and that's what made it devastating. She expected Trump to be bizarre, but somehow he still exceeded expectations.
Reporting in the New York Times that the Trump administration has now stopped the FBI and other Justice Department personnel not only from working on counterterrorism cases, but also the Trump administration has stopped federal law enforcement officers in multiple agencies from working on child sex trafficking and child exploitation.
Kimmel jumped back in and acted like Trump was starring in the most dramatic political soap opera ever filmed. He exaggerated Trump's confidence like a man who solves none of the problem but takes all the credit. And the crowd was barely holding it together.
The Senate today sent the bill to the White House. Now, usually when Trump gets a bill, he declares bankruptcy and doesn't pay it. But this one, he's going to have to sign it, or at least he says he's going to sign it, which means there's about maybe a 12% chance he will. Trump hasn't been this nervous about signing something since Don Jr.'s birth certificate. He's not the only one. Speaker Mike Johnson, who shut most of Washington down for like 2 months to try to avoid this, very much wanted to amend the bill to allow them to redact names to...
If comedy were a courtroom, Maddow was the prosecutor and the jury at the same time. She didn't need volume. She used cold, precise facts like darts dipped in sarcasm. Meanwhile, Kimmel compared Trump's instincts to a malfunctioning GPS, confidently directing you straight into a lake.
Move to install at the General Services Administration, the GSA. GSA is in charge of federal real estate. This usually is not a very high-profile agency. But in this administration, we've got the president literally bulldozing the White House and dumping the debris randomly on public golf courses. So all of a sudden, this previously low-profile agency is right at the heart of Trump weirdness and destruction. Trump has reportedly now found a perfect candidate to be a new top lawyer at the GSA. He is reportedly installing there a guy whose nomination for a different job had to be pulled a couple of weeks ago when it emerged that he had said about himself, quote, "I do have a Nazi streak in me."
Maddow broke down Trump's reactions like she was reading Yelp reviews for a restaurant that keeps catching on fire but swears everything is fine. Kimmel followed by spinning Trump's excuses like a carnival wheel that always lands on chaos. Then Maddow popped Trump's inflated claims like bubble wrap.
Who can't persuade the First Lady to live with him. This is a president whose supposed best friend says he should be impeached, and by the way, he's in the Epstein files. I mean, this is a president whose approval ratings are more underwater than any other president ever at this point in his term. He has already rushed right to the part where he tries to turn the military against the civilian population, where he tries to turn the force of the American military.
Kimmel took Trump's newest statement and performed it like the trailer for a disaster movie. The crowd broke before the punchline even dropped. Maddow checkmated Trump's contradictions in 10 seconds, and Kimmel returned to describe Trump like a broken robot repeating "everything's perfect" while sparks fly out.
Here, you see here, trying to kill Roger Rabbit. He says he voted no on principle, as in a principle you don't want near your kid's school. Clay Higgins also voted for David Duke, the former Grand Wizard of the Klan, for governor, so he has a history of solid decision-making. He says his fear is that, as written, the bill...
Maddow came back with the coldest, calmest disappointment of the night, comparing Trump's political strategy to outdated software still pretending it can run modern programs. Kimmel refused to slow down, painting Trump as a man bragging about success while standing on a sinking ship.
Right to the end, because he has no idea how to play cards against opposition to him that is this big, this sustainable, this broad, and this correct. He hasn't done anything as president that would win anyone over to his side. And the number of people who voted for him or supported him otherwise, who are now regretting it, grows by the day. And they don't just...
Kimmel walked through Trump's entire week like he was recapping the dramatic arc of a reality show contestant who keeps blaming the producers. Every exaggeration hit like fireworks. Maddow ended the segment by explaining Trump's choices with the same tone someone uses when warning a child not to touch a hot stove. Again.
As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
That's right. How dare you embarrass a man who had a columnist sawed into pieces? Things happen. Things happen. This is not an episode of The Sopranos. You're the president of the...
The audience didn't leave the broadcast. They floated out. This wasn't political commentary. It was premium comedy powered by Trump's overconfidence. Every excuse turned into a blooper reel, and each punchline landed harder than the last.
Seriously, what is that supposed to mean? What would motivate him to post "and so it begins" at almost midnight? What would compel him to contact his social media guy, Dan Scavino, that late at night to say, "Dan, I need you to post "and so it begins"? All caps, Mr. President. Yeah, all caps, you idiot, and put a ... in front of it too.
Maddow guided viewers through Trump's contradictions like a tour through a rundown amusement park where every ride shuts down halfway through. Kimmel followed by mocking Trump's self-praise, like a motivational poster written by someone who failed every exam. Maddow closed the night by calmly exposing Trump's timeline. No yelling, no acting, just pure, undeniable absurdity.